Let's start this section with a quick overview of the key terms and ideas in concurrent systems. The one key term to understand is process. A process is an instance of a program or an application. When you launch an application like your code editor or music player, your operating system loads that application inside a process. So a process contains an image of the application's code. It has some memory and a bunch of other resources. Now, your operating system can execute many processes at the same time. For example, it can run an antivirus while playing music. So that's concurrency at the process level. But we can also have concurrency within a process or within an application using threads. Technically speaking, a thread is a sequence of instructions. That's why it's called a thread. It's like a thread of instructions. Now, practically speaking, a thread is actually that thing that executes your code. Each process has at least one thread called the main thread, but we can create additional threads to run many tasks concurrently. For example, we can build a web server that can serve many clients at the same time. We'll serve each client using a separate thread. Or we can build an application that downloads multiple images concurrently. We do this by starting multiple threads and have each thread download a separate image. This is what we call multi-threading. Applications that use multiple threads are called multi-threaded applications. Now, these days, most processors have multiple cores, and these cores can be used for running many processes or threads. If your application doesn't use threads, it's essentially using only one of the processor cores, so it's not utilizing the full power of your CPU. Your hardware is wasted. Let me show you. So I'm going to print thread. This class is declared in the java.lang package. It has a static method called active count, and this returns the number of active threads in the current process. Now, after that, let's print runtime. This class is also declared in the java.lang package. It has a static method getRuntime, and here we can call available processors to get the total number of available threads. Let's take a look. So this program is using two threads. One of them is the main thread that is running our main method. The other is a background thread that runs the garbage collector. This garbage collector removes unused objects from memory. So our program is using two threads, but we have 8 threads available. Now this number may be different on your machine. My machine has 4 cores, and each core has 2 threads. So I have 8 threads available that I can use to run things in parallel. So to exploit parallel hardware, you should learn about threads. You should learn how to start them, how to pause them, how to interrupt them, and more importantly, how to safely share data between them. Because if 2 threads try to change some data at the same time, crazy things can happen. We'll talk about that later in this section. But first, let's see how we can create and start a new thread. We'll look at that next.